Hi everyone, let's work together on an example where we can see how to create frequency distributions, how to work on discrete probability distributions. So what we have right here is a case study. On the Excel file, you can see that I have a total of 32 numbers. These numbers represent the number of flights per day at different airports. So you can assume that each one of these numbers represents the number of flights on a specific airport. So I have a total of 32 different airports, and the numbers here represent the flights that they depart and arrive on this airport. So the first thing that I want to do is to create a descriptive statistics table. You can see right here that the minimum number of flights at an airport is 9. The maximum number of flights at an airport is 34. So I'm going to highlight these so we can focus on these numbers. And my variable, the variable that I will call x from now on, is going to be nothing else than the number of flights on an airport. The possible values for this variable is 9, 10, so the entire range from 9 down to 34. So one thing that I want you to see right here is, in order to create the vector of the number of flights, of the values for my variable, I just write the first number 9, the second number 10, then I highlight those and I scroll down with tapping on my mouse on the left side until I reach the number 34. So now I have the x values, the values for the variable x. So x is my variable, it's the number of flights. Okay, and it has a range, so this is going to be the domain for my variable from 9 to 34. Now, what I want to find is what is the probability distribution for this. Probability distribution, as we all know, is nothing else than a function that for each one of these variables is going to represent the probability that this number, any one of these numbers, is selected from the total number of flights that I have here. So if you look at number 9 right here, it appears once here and it doesn't appear anymore on each one of these on this set. Well, if I want to find the counts of how many of these numbers appear, then I can go and I count them. And I will use the COUNTIF command, COUNTIF. And what I'm looking for is for the number that is on the left, number 9 here, in the first column A. So the range first, so I'm going to go from 23 to 24 down here, that's my range. And the criteria is going to be hold on cell D2. And I can see here that the answer is 1. Well, 1, 9 in the entire distribution. Well, I want to repeat this for each one of these values, but because I don't want to duplicate my work here, what I need to do is basically to scroll down to 34. The issue that I have if I do that, and I'm not going to do it yet, is that if you go, let's say, to this one, number 17, you can see that it starts from the range. It starts from A10 to A41, but I want the range to stay from A2 to A33. So in order to do that, I'm gonna erase again what I just did, and what I want is to lock the cells, meaning I don't want the cells to be moved every time that I copy my cell. So now I copied the range, I locked the range to be from A2 to A33, and now I copy down and I find my numbers. So you can see right here now, for example, the number 17 appears 4 times, and we can see once here, 2 i's here, 3 times here, and 4 times right here. So it is correct. But these are just the counts. It's not the counts that I want to find, but I want to find the probability for each one of these values for my variable x to appear. So right here is 1. 1 is the count. 1 time the 9 appears here. But what is the probability that if I select any one of the cells right here, it will be the number 9? So clearly will be 1 over the number of cells. The number of cells that I have in from A2 to A33 are going to be 32 cells. I know that if I focus on the count. So I don't need, if I have a long data set, I don't need to count them. I can see it right here, so 32. So now this number is going to be equal to the number of counts divided by, let's practice our locking, the number 32. So the number 32, again, I need to lock it because instead of locking a cell here, I could just write number 32, but I lock it only for practice. And I get the probability for the first value, and I need to find the probability for each one of these values. So clearly right here, oops, you can see the probability for each one of the values. Now, in order for this to be probability distribution, I need to have the sum of all those values to be equal to 1. So let's check ourselves and see, is this the correct probability distribution? Well, it is. The sum of those is equal to 1. So this is how I find probability distribution. And that's what we do. But sometimes what we need is to actually, so if I want, let me do one more thing for you. I'm gonna hide this column right here, and as you can see, this one now is the table for our probability. This is the table for the probability distribution. So if we are asked for a table for the probability distribution, this is what you need to return. Let me highlight it, always the appearance is important, and that's it. Now, sometimes what we want is to actually have the tables, but not vertically, but horizontally. If you want to do that, then you should select this, clicking on the right side of your mouse, copy it, but be careful. You cannot just paste it, because if you paste it, the values that have been created are going to change. So what you need to do is right click on the mouse, and instead of pasting the actual ones, you should paste the values only. So now what I have, and again, what I have right here are my values, but as values. If I click off one of those, as you can see, let's go to the first one, is the value right here on the cell is 0.03125, while the value right here is, it's given by a function. So this is what I did right here. So I need to do these steps, copy this as value, and now I'm getting to copy the values only, and I will come to the right side of my spreadsheet. Let's go down here, and I go here and I paste, again careful, don't just paste it, but come here and do transpose, and there it is. Now you actually have the correct way of representing horizontally your probability distribution. If you want to beautify your result, make sure that you set up properly the borders. First the all borders right here, and then thick for the outside borders. And if you further want, you can take these and you can change the color of that to something different. So this is the probability distribution table that I just created. Except of probability distribution table, sometimes we want to do a visual of these probability distributions. How do we do that? Well, with a histogram. The reason that we want to do it with a histogram is that we have a discrete variable with different numbers here, right, from 9 to 34. And what we want is to graph them with bars, but these bars are going to have on the x-axis the variable x, that is an actual variable with numbers. So in order to do that, we are going to use from the data the histogram, and we want to make sure that the histogram has the borders. You remember that they need to have, we need to give the bins, but we have the bins ready. Here are your bins. So we can go to the data, go to data analysis, click on the histogram now, that is right here, click on OK. And now I'm taking my input range, that is from here down to 24, I select. Then I go here, I select my bin range from here down to 34. Okay. I check the labels because I have titles for both of these, for the bins right here and for the actual values right there. So I click on the labels, and then I want to create a histogram, right? So chart output right here. And you may want to see the cumulative percentage, you may not want to see the cumulative percentage. Right now I don't need it, so I'm not going to select anything else. I click OK. And that's my histogram. That's it. So you can see right here the actual data set with the values of the number of lights and the frequency for each one of those. The more is not something that I necessarily want for this histogram, so I can delete it. As you can see, it was deleted from the histogram right here. The truth is that I don't like the color blue, so I double click on a bar, I go to the color, I go to the fill of the color, and I change the blue, let's say, to this color right here. And I may want also to put, instead of the, not only the fill, but I want to change the border. So the automatic border is nothing, so I'm changing the color to be black right there, so it's more vivid, my histogram. I change the title to be the number of lights. There it is. And I have my frequency histogram. Sometimes I may also want to change the distance between the bars. So again, I double click on one of these bars and I go up here to the format data point and I click on the bars here and it gives me the gap width. I change this gap width to something smaller. And this is what I have right here. Beautiful. Our graph is ready. Excellent. Now, another thing that I want to do is I'm going to right click here on my mouse and I want to copy the graph and see right here, I'm going to paste the graph. So I have exactly the same graph, but why would I want to have the same graph twice? Well, one of the reasons is if I really want to change my graph. And let's see why I would like to change my graph. Well, the graph that I have on the left side, on the y-axis, it has the frequency. I don't really want this frequency. What I want is the probability distribution histogram. So what I need to do is double click on the bars again. And I'll focus on these beautiful numbers that I have right here. These are the numbers that they are responsible for the x-axis and for the y-axis. What I want is for the x-axis, for the y-axis, not to be 1, 0, and so on, but to be the probability distribution. Okay, so I'm leaving my graph right here. I go to the first side, and I'm going to copy now the probability distribution from here. Right click and copy, and I go right here again and I paste my numbers. So now you have the probability distribution column. You come here, you double click on the bars, you select, you see this blue border around the column, you cut this and you drag it here. So now instead of having the frequency, I'm going to drag it right here, and you see that my graph changed. What I want you to pay attention is now the y-axis numbers are not anymore numbers, so this is not frequency anymore, but these are probabilities. So I'm going to change again. Let me double click on the bars right there. I'm going to the color. Let me make the color green. No, yeah, green, light green is good. Right there. So that's now the probability distribution of the number of lights. Okay, this is what I want here. And now I'm changing the label on the y-axis, and I say, oops, I double click here and I change what I have, probability distribution, there it is, and I have the proper graph. And this is how I graph the probability distribution.